Welcome back to the Sons of Grimnir channel. I just wanted to put this in just before the video starts and before I start the preview. Really do appreciate all of the views and the likes and the comments and stuff on the review for the Liverpool game. It's gone crazy. It's gone nuts. So I'm glad that you're liking it. I just wanted to put this in before just to say thank you very much, and I do appreciate all your support. So here's to the video. And now let's start. So we will go through a couple of things regarding the preview. So personally, I think this is just as big as Liverpool. We got a decent 0-0 draw away to Anfield, away to Liverpool at Anfield even. And these are the teams that we need to be beating. We need to roll them over really to go into the next Liverpool game with a bit of confidence. If we wipe the floor with Fulham, 2-3, Martial gets on the score sheet, for example, Barney, I think it's going to set us up in good precedence to go and beat Liverpool. I think we're more than capable. We've shown that we're capable to beat Liverpool. If Pogba and Bruno finish those chances, it's a comfortable 2-0 win. You know what I mean? So I don't know what you think about it, but I personally think that we have all the assets to go to Liverpool and beat them. As a Fulham, I think if 4-5 players turn up and do what they can do what they're capable of doing, even our second rotated side, which I'll go through in a minute, I think even then we'll be able to push and get a win. Basically, will be very interesting in the starting 11 to see if Cavani, Van der Beek, Telles might get a start. I'm not entirely sure on injuries. I've got a quick injury update and a quick sort of outline of the squads, who's fit and who's not, but we'll get to that in a minute. So with the rotated squad, as mentioned before, I do think a few people will get a start in this game that haven't played before. With it being Cavani, Van der Beek and Telles, we should press high. With those players involved, we're still capable of doing that even without Pogba, Bruno, etc. So it's 3 games a week for God knows how long now. So we can rotate aside. We can look to use and utilise those players that we haven't yet. Bruno and Rashford may get a rest this week, but I do think they look emotionally and mentally drained. We should have enough to see it through, even without those two. However, I do think it might be one or the other. So it might be Rashford this week and then Sheffield United at home, the game after Liverpool. I think we might see the opposite one rested. I don't think we can afford to leave them both out together. There's literally like 9 goals in the team without those two in it. Win your home games, draw away to top 6 and look to beat anyone below that. Basically, that's the aim. You will be champions with that record. Quick Fergie quote for you. So, moving on to the teams. Okay, so as for Fulham, I don't have a graphic for their first 11. However, I will talk you through very quickly because obviously this is mainly about United. So with Robinson's challenge in the derby in the last game means that he will miss Fulham's next 3 matches through suspension. But that does mean, or it also means Tom Carney, Lamina and Congolo also remain sidelined for Fulham as well. However, here's better news. Mitrovic, who I absolutely love because he's just a shithouse, should be available again after only narrow missing out at the weekend. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who is obviously on the thumbnail and on the picture in front of you, is back in contention after being forced to sit out against his parent club, which is unfortunate for him. However, he will be fresh, he will be ready to go, he will be ready to prove himself. And Scott Parker does have a habit of dropping in surprise changes as well. With the current form, I can't imagine him changing that much. However, I do think Loftus-Cheek is an integral part of Scott Parker's plan. I do think he's fantastic for Fulham and a great signing, so I do think he will be involved. With the suspensions, it might be a disjointed Fulham side, but they do need to win, and the pressure is on Scott Parker at the moment. So hopefully we can get one over on Scott Parker because he is a bit and on the United team. Okay, now so over to the United team. Just a quick look at. Okay, so we do have a relatively clean bill of health. Brandon Williams, Phil Jones, and Marcus Rojo being out. Don't particularly think they'd start anyway, to be honest with you. We're all looking to, well, they've all been linked with moves away from Old Trafford. So Brandon Williams with Southampton and Newcastle, which Newcastle do probably need him. Phil Jones anyway. And Marcus Rojo back to Argentina, I think, as well, because his missus is from there. He is, so makes sense. They're the only absentees, which is good news. Many thought Bailly was injured, but Ole came out against Liverpool and said, "You just got Lingard, got Lindelof." So that was a bit of a shock. I was a bit wary of that, but Lindelof smashed it. So who am I to judge? Solskjaer does face an interesting selection dilemma as well as shuffle the pack, as I mentioned, knowing that another showdown with Liverpool is looming at the weekend on Sunday. I think he's going to go rotated team, as you can see on the screen. So I will go through the team in a second. The Premier League, to me, is priority, and I think it might be to Ole as well, to be fair. Particularly now that we find ourselves in a title race. We are in a title race, we're top. Simple as that. So wholesale changes are not likely, but I do think he will change it round and rotate a little bit, as you can see by my first 11. Cavani, Greenwood, Bailly, Van der Beek, Telles, all among the players that didn't start against Liverpool, so they'll be itching to start, they'll be itching to score, they'll be itching to play well, and impressed to actually play in the FA Cup on Sunday. I think it would be a massive statement to say that we rely on Bruno Fernandes. He's good, very good, but we've got so many other players that can contribute. We've got Rashford, who's our top scorer, Martial, Cavani, Pogba, Fred, Van der Beek, Telles. Like, I don't understand Greenwood. I don't understand like why people do say this about Bruno Fernandes. I think it's a bit of jealousy, but he's unbelievable. His goals, his assists, he's dictates the play. Fair enough, he hasn't turned up much this season. He's been in very poor form, but his performances have been not that great. But he scores and assists. Like, what more do you want? Like, I prefer it that way than the other way around. I prefer him to be scoring and assisting than have an absolute worldie and not do anything. So, makes sense. The people who lose the ball in top flight football most are Messi, De Bruyne, and Bruno. And if you say the shit, then you're wrong and you're stupid. You do want him to make those final balls. You want to do the key passes. You want him playing 1-2s. You want the ball around the corner. You want the flicks. Great chances. He is your flair player. You do want him to do that. So there's no reason why Solskjaer would berate him for doing that, because that's literally what we bought him for. But we lacked massively when people just double marked Pogba, and we were fucked before Bruno came. So keep creating chances, Bruno. Hopefully, he will shine in this game. It's against a very poor Fulham side, so hopefully he will shine in this game. So it takes us onto the team. So De Gea in goal, had a worldie against Liverpool. He's been in very good form, probably the best form since last is the best keeper in the world, really. So 2 years ago. I think Alex Telles will be on the left hand side. I think he will look to bomb and overlap Martial, get those balls in the box for Cavani to whack his head on it. Those long flowing locks. With him bombing down the left hand side, we might create an overload with Fred and Bruno drifting over that side as well to target the fullbacks. With Cavani being in the box, it is a good chance to get the ball in. Eventually use that aerial threat as our main focal point. Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side. He's not as good going forward as Telles, so he will be that strong fullback, which we know he is. And we don't really have another option, to be perfectly honest. So I think that's why Wan-Bissaka will be there. Maguire and Lindelof, centre backs. Lindelof was an absolute weird decision to play against Liverpool. I thought Bailly was nailed on to start. However, Ole went with his gut, played Lindelof, and Lindelof had an absolute worldie against Salah and Mane. And obviously for me, no shit. So. Maguire, as always, colossal. He's good at bringing the ball out. He's good at finding those passes. He's good at those diagonal balls, to be fair, across the field to the winger, whoever's there, Rashford, Greenwood, whoever. So that's the back four, pretty standard really, I think. The only one that I think could get a start would be Shaw, because he was man of the match against Liverpool, I think. So maybe he's saving him for Liverpool at the weekend. Who knows? It's for you to decide. Let us know what you think of that back four in the comments below. I think it's probably our best back four. I think Bai is, on his day, he's worldy. But having your day once every 20 games is not good enough. Right, so to the midfield, I think Fred, Van der Beek and Bruno. So Van der Beek will be that pivotal between the defence and attack. I think you'll receive the ball deep, and I think you'll bring it out like Matic does for us. He is a bit more technical than Matic, and I think he's better on the ball. I think he's better at receiving it with his back to their goal under pressure, and I think he can pass his way out, which is what we need. Fred is just going to do the normal Fred thing and run around like a headless chicken, like a blue-ass fly, get the ball back and give it to Bruno and Van der Beek, which I'm okay with. That's what he's there for. That's his role. I think he knows that, to be honest. So I think that would be the best shout. Bruno speaks for himself. I think, like I said earlier, either Bruno and Rashford would be missing out this game. And I think if we play Bruno in this game and we get a decent win in this game, it definitely sets us up for a massive result in the FA Cup against Liverpool. I think if we beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, it just expands our chances to win another cup, doesn't it? Knocking the Premier League champions out. Up front, Martial left, Greenwood right. So I think Martial will get a game because he does need a goal. I think he needs to play against a Fulham, if you know what I mean. He needs to play against a team where he can have a run, he can drop his shoulder, he can get a shot away, he can bend it far corner like he normally does, cut in from that left hand side and get a shot away, where he gets most of his goals. I hope Cavani starts, because I think he does need minutes, and I think he needs a lot more starts than he's been getting. I just love Edison Cavani. It's absolutely unbelievable. He's a world-class legend. Actually is a world-class legend. I think there's only Messi, Ronaldo and Lewandowski or something that's outscored him in the past 10 years or something. Something ridiculous like that. So I know he's getting on a bit, but his movement, bravery, his aerial threat, even his technical ability, the one against Liverpool where it drops down into the 6-yard box and he doesn't even swipe at it, he dummies, takes it and then has a shot. Fair enough, it goes just over. Was it them or Villa? One of them. But shows composure, shows world of experience, and I love Cavani. Greenwood, I think he's in a similar mould as Martial. I do think he needs a couple more goals in his locker. Fulham's a good chance to get it. I know we're against Sheffield after the Liverpool game. However, I do think Greenwood will get on the score sheet, personally, tomorrow night. So, fingers crossed for that. I do appreciate, just to mention again, I do appreciate the fact that you absolutely smashed the review of the Liverpool game. The views went nuts, comments and likes. I'm so unbelievably grateful. You have no idea. So hopefully this hits the heights as the last one did. I'm trying to do a little bit different each time. I do have a special guest for the review on the Liverpool game. It's one of my friends that are going to join us with his reactions, with his opinions, and we'll see what he's got to say after the Liverpool game. So stay tuned. Watch the next one with me and him in it. Should be really good. Doing a quick Q&A and stuff like that. So like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. In a bit. See you on the flip side.